Hey, it's Mark with Mark's Virtual Real Estate Channel. We're back with another video on Upland, a virtual real estate game. Today I'm going to go over a little bit more on the Queens release, how things are looking for me so far. And then I'm going to talk about my lazy nodes as well in Detroit, and maybe what we should do in Queens here as well on that too. All right, we love the likes, love the comments, love the shares. Keep those coming. And I have a real estate investment channel as well, Mark Ferguson Invest for More, if you haven't seen that. I think I'm looking at 3 different properties today to possibly purchase in real life. So, and I've got another really crazy property under contract to buy. So if you haven't seen that channel, we have a lot of cool stuff on there. All right, first off, Queens. So the Queens release was this week, and it went fine. I missed out on some really cool properties I wanted, but that's okay. I still have a lot of properties all over. and we have been selling some properties. So if I go to my messages, I can kind of show you. I believe that was in Long Island City. We sold for $38,900. Where is that one? That is... Oh, in Beach. Okay, so that was down in the Rockaway Beach area. Another one down there. We sold a bigger one in the Sunnyside area there. So for a while there, none of my stuff in Sunnyside was selling. And then all of a sudden, I think all of it sold. So that one, Sunnyside might be taking off now. I'll kind of look at the prices here in a second. And then we had another one. I believe that was in the Rockaway Beach area. Same thing, beach area. That one, oh, Bronx. So we always have some random ones there. So we've been selling quite a bit. Let's check out. I like to go to uplandx.me to see prices. And they have Queens on here somewhere. There it is. And you can type in the neighborhoods and see kind of what the floor is. So we can check here and just see. Oh, there's a cheap one right there. But a lot of them are at $10,000. Okay. Interesting. Because I had... Oh, I still have one left. So in my... I've talked about it a lot. I tried to mint stuff here in Queens Boulevard. Couldn't do it, so I went up here and bought a bunch. And they all sold except for this one. And what's my mint price on that one? $10,000. Okay. So let's see if everything is kind of minted out in Sunnyside. There's some big stuff still, but almost all the little stuff is sold. So Sunnyside might be an interesting neighborhood. It's starting to take off a little bit, and I always just kind of like the name just because I have kids and they love Toy Story, and the Sunnyside daycare is in Toy Story 3 or 4 or something. I'm not sure. And then here I still have quite a few properties over here, and it's just interesting to see. Okay, what's the floor? Oh, in Long Island City, 30. I feel like that's still dropping a little bit. So, oh, there's Radish Head. That's Upland Analysis. He's got one over there. You can see the mint price. So they're definitely. Oh, that's a good one. Look at that. If you could mint stuff for $7,000 in Long Island City, you're golden. But most of those are still have pretty decent margins. Not amazing, but pretty decent. And then I have some in Astoria as well. I just want to check and see. I don't think I've even put these up for sale yet, have I? I know you guys don't know that, so you don't have to answer that. Oh, I did. Okay. Let's see what that price is here. And this is kind of how I just figure out what my prices should be. Oh, that did not work right. Oh. There we go. Okay. Right at $14,900. Okay. So I've got some real close to that floor. So it wouldn't surprise me if some of those here sold soon too. What was my mint price? Invest for more. So not a huge margin there, right? A little bit, but nothing crazy there. The really nice margins have been Long Island City was okay. And then down in Rockaway Beach, Rockaway Park, Harbor, all that stuff. I still have a lot of properties here. But, you know, I minted those from what, 4? Oh, 7,000. I think some were 5. And then, like I said, we've been selling them from 12 to 14,000. If we go to Vern, I believe that's not it. What's it called? What is my neighborhood called? Oh, get out of here. Arvern. Arvern. Okay. That's a strange name. We'll see what the floor is there. 7,500? Whoo. When I see really cheap stuff like that, I just have a real problem, and that's I have to go buy it. That's so cheap. Look at that. Okay. It's very close to the water, too. And then the water's right there. Boy, that was cheap. It's kind of... Why is that one person? One person doing that? Bringing our floor down. So when I see stuff really cheap like that, I just have a tendency to buy it. One, because I think it's really cheap and it might be a good deal later. And two, because if I own all these properties in here, it can kind of help raise the floor if I'm trying to sell some of my other stuff. Because if people see, oh, I can buy stuff for 7,500 or 8,000, and then why in the world would I pay 12 or 14 for something? And let's see, do I have? There's my cheapest one. It's 13.9. So you can see, I am way down there. Look at other people had the same idea too, just minting like crazy in there, and working pretty well. So, how many properties are for sale right now? 100 and a lot. A lot. So I was thinking of doing a lazy node here. My issue, let's see, there's 317 properties for sale right now. There's a lot of properties in this neighborhood. It's not tiny. I like tiny neighborhoods for nodes, but I have so many properties in there. So we'll see. I have a couple on Rockaway Beach Boulevard here, so I also want to check and say, hey, we'll take off the neighborhood. We'll put in Rockaway in the street, and then we can see what properties are for sale on the street too. The floor is at 53. That floor is dropping too. Ugh, that's annoying. Maybe it'll start going up here. But yeah, I have one for sale at 69. I haven't sold any of my Rockaway Beach properties, but I minted them for really, really cheap. So it's like, do I want to just sell one of these and take a profit? Like that one, we could definitely 13708 lower the price. I have some up there, and then where is it? Down here I've got some. Oh, I feel like, sorry about that. There. If we just go 52.9, we'll be at the very... Oh, it didn't show up yet. It should show up here soon. That'll help my net worth. My goal to get to 10 million, you can see we are at 958755. I was at 9599. I wonder if that last property I bought might not have shown up yet. The two properties I just bought that were really cheap probably aren't minted yet, so they aren't showing up. That's almost at 596. All right, so that's going okay. For lazy nodes, I'm having a hard time picking one. I have so many properties down here, but it's a big neighborhood, so I'm worried it won't have the, exclusivity, that's a word, that I'm looking for. So it'd be nice to have a smaller node, like one of these, but they're kind of expensive. That's not too expensive. I don't know. There's a lot of big neighborhoods in Queens, and nothing's been really jumping out at me. So maybe I need help from the listeners out there. Tell me what you're thinking on where we might be able to go. And I'm curious too what Kew Gardens, because I was kind of surprised. I know a lot of people were really thinking that was going to take off. And last I checked, the floor was pretty low. It was like 28 or something. Yeah, 29. It's still pretty low. Those mint prices were cheap though. So if you were able to mint there in Kew Gardens, you definitely were making good money. Look at those markups. A really good choice, but I really thought it would be higher. But I think it's right raising some too. So if you, that will probably be a node, I'm guessing. So if you are interested in buying some properties there, it's probably not the worst idea. If we go by markup, let's see if there's any. There's a big one. That's a good deal. So there you go. And so I'm still on the fence. Maybe I'll buy some there, maybe not. All right, so that's kind of how Queens is going. Like I said, I didn't get any really amazing properties this time. And a lot of people said it's because I wasn't like scrolling in and out or moving my browser around. It wasn't refreshing enough, and they could be right. So that's a tip for everybody next time. If you watched my, live, or not live, but real-time video of me releasing, or of the city releasing, and then we have some other property I just bought randomly. It seemed like, I don't know why I bought that one actually, but there's all kinds of. Glen Oaks would be cool, but it's really expensive. Last I checked, it was a lot. Let's see. That was probably the most expensive neighborhood I've seen. So, oh, that's by markup. I'm like, wow, really went up in price. Let's see. 59, 60. Yeah, pretty good markups there. Mint prices. Look at those. So, good profits there for people. So that's Queens. So it's going okay. I was hoping to really have more net worth increase by now, but that's okay. Now for my other nodes. As some of you know, I've started some other lazy nodes in Detroit. And let's see how they are doing. And we'll talk about some of the other nodes in Upland here as well. Henry Ford is the one I've really been focusing on. I really like that one. But I also bought a lot of properties on 8 Mile. And to be honest, this isn't there. That makes me feel better. It's straighter. I haven't paid as much attention to 8 Mile. So I'm curious to see how it's doing because I haven't been talking about it as much. But we kind of did this, a couple weeks ago. We really started. And the floor, look at this. That floor was at 11 when I started, and then it was at 17 last week. Make sure everything's correct on here. We're up to 21. 75 properties on 8 Mile. Maybe that's starting to take off. I should have been paying attention. So prices have almost doubled. At least the floor has almost doubled on 8 Mile. And there were 112 properties, I believe, when we started for sale. Now it's down to 75. And that's just for sale for UPIX. I'm not checking just the dollar ones, but that's interesting. So okay, so maybe there's some momentum going there on 8 Mile now. Good to see. And then we'll check out my Henry Ford. If you don't know what a node is, it is basically just a neighborhood that a group of people get together and say, hey, we're going to buy a bunch of properties here, we're going to build a bunch of buildings here, we're going to maybe have some contests, a Discord channel, and they try and really promote it and make it a really cool place where they can raise the price, have some, get-togethers, a community. Century City is a great one. Sunset's a great one. Portage Park, Lazy J Ranch, Broadway, the Upland Auto Group I think they're still doing Broadway. There's a lot of nodes out there. Morningside in Los Angeles. I'm sure there's more I'm missing. But I was doing lazy nodes, which means I just talk about it on my YouTube channel. I buy properties here, and maybe I build some stuff. So that's what I mean by lazy node. And you can see, look at this. People are starting to build. More and more properties are popping up. And this is the first one I started building. And I need to say thank you, because if we look at this, I just started building it like 2 days ago. I have 2 days left, and I don't have that much spark. You know why? Because people are awesome. And Cheesy Poof, I am not sure who you are. And I know some people comment on here and you have different names, and I'm really bad with names. So I apologize if I don't recognize your name and then put it with a comment on my YouTube channel. I can't remember people's names who I've known for a long time in real life. So I apologize for that. It's something I try really hard to work on, but it just doesn't work very well. So anyway, I apologize if I do that. But thank you so much, Cheesy Poof, and these other guys who are helping build my property. But something that was almost even cooler was I checked out the property next door, and this person is commenting on my channel and a part of our community as well. I went and looked at their property, and look at this. They have 2 days left. They have even more people. Look at all of this. This is awesome how many people are. So I don't know if they had their own friends or were talking about it with other people who are helping them build. or if people saw me mention it on my channel, or if it's a combination of the two. But I love seeing so many people helping out, not just me, because I have, I'm on YouTube, I'm out there and stuff, but someone else. And maybe I'm completely wrong and they just have a whole group of cool people helping them out, and it has nothing to do with me. But if it does have something to do with me, that's really cool, and I'm glad to see it. Other stuff you can see, there's a mansion being built. That's a bigger townhouse there being built. All kinds of stuff going on. And so the other day I was just looking and at the Henry Ford, sorry, my plumber, we're getting some rooftop heating units put on this building. Oh, don't ever even look at how much those cost. This is my office, Blue Steel Real Estate here where I'm at. And so I bought the building, which is a 68,000 square foot strip mall, has a grocery store, restaurant, dance studio, coffee shop, and the rooftop units went out because they're like 60 years old. Tens of thousands of dollars to do that. A lot of money. So anyway, they're up there preparing the plumbing and electrical for the new ones, which are coming tomorrow with a crane. Craziness. All right, so we're looking at prices here. $14.99. Cool. And I think I just bought one yesterday because it was at 13 something. And you can see this floor is rising. It was at 7 or 8, so it also has almost doubled. And then down to 78 properties for sale. We were also around 110, 115 when I started. So really cool to see. I'm pleasantly surprised by how well the lazy nodes have done. And like I said, I am planning to keep building in here. This will be done in 2 days. If people keep helping me that much build stuff, like we can probably build a lot of stuff pretty quick here, which would be pretty cool. And again, I don't know exactly what you do with those buildings yet, except for, some people can have stores, but it's very, very few people. But it's still pretty cool to have them. And I'm just, they're at 2 days. Who is this? Prospect Gold. Cool. They're at 2 days for an apartment building in here. So that's pretty cool to see. And yeah, I'm guessing if somebody owned a whole bunch of properties in Henry Ford before we started the node, you're welcome for helping raise all your prices. So no, I'm joking, but it has been fun doing those nodes. All right, and something else I want to see. So if you want to join our node, right, love to see you buy properties, start building, comment on the YouTube channel. That's kind of how we're keeping track of stuff. Don't have a Discord or anything like that yet. If it really takes off and gets into something bigger, maybe I'll start a Discord or someone else can help me start one and I can stop making my map so wonky. There we go. And go from there. And if we want to do one in Queens, yes, I'm open to that. I'm just struggling right now with where to find it. Like when I went to Detroit, it was kind of like, hey, like right away, I'm like 8 Mile, Henry Ford, like stood out to me just immediately. There's nothing standing out to me in Queens yet. So if you guys have some ideas, let me know. All right, we're going to check out Century City here real quick because that is also one of the best performing nodes right now, probably as far as prices and community and just getting their name out there. A lot of really popular, famous YouTubers for Upland and very high net worth players are in Century City and promoting it. So it's been really cool. And one of the things I mentioned in my Detroit release before I bought was there were a couple really cheap properties that came up. Oh, not Century. I always do that. In Century City for sale. And I bought them, which took a bunch of my UPEX away for the Queens release. But like I said, I'm just a sucker for buying properties. And I want to see where their price is, which I'll show you here. Because it was like $295 floor before the Queens release. And then it dropped quite a bit. Oh, it's at $225 now. And you can see here, I bought one for $180. And I bought another one for $185, I think. I just saw two super cheap properties. So I bought those. And I do have 2 of mine for sale. You can see here. Someone messaged me and asked, hey, are you getting out of Century City? Are you selling all your stuff? No, I'm not getting out. I still have a property that I built here. You can see it right there. That's my property I built on. I just have 4 properties in Century City now. And so those 2 were such good deals. I bought them pretty much intending to flip them. But that doesn't mean I'm getting out of Century City. It just means I don't think I need 4 properties there right now. So if anybody wants to buy those, that'd be cool. I say this a lot. I have a lot of guesses that are wrong in Upland, so don't take anything I say as a guarantee. But I'm thinking this floor is going to raise here pretty quick again because they have, what, 31 properties for sale. It's a very small node, very small neighborhood. That's one thing I think they really have going for them is the number of properties in there. And yeah, it's a pretty cool area. So that's doing well. And that's the other thing I want to check out because, yes, I bought those properties in there. And yeah, I still just have random properties selling in all my neighborhoods. And looking at collections here, I'm sure I'm missing some. Oh, my San Francisco properties. Do I even have? I'm down to 1 in San Francisco. So that floor has been rising again too because I had a couple there for sale. A guy said, oh, someone had mentioned the Ventura. Where is Ventura? Anyway, oh, I'm in the wrong collection. That's what's going on. I'm in San Francisco, duh. The person I talked about, I traded my Ventura property for a Queens property and sold it for a lot of money. I was like, oh, why did they do that? Well, now it looks like a pretty good trade for them because the Queens Boulevard floor has dropped a bunch. But I just kind of got lucky on selling it right after the release before the main, right after the stress test before the main release when prices were really high. And ended up selling. I might, I had that one there, selling it for $174,000, and I had my Ventura property up for sale for like $89,000. But now it's probably a really, really fair trade if you look at values. But I got lucky with my timing, so wasn't a bad trade for either one of us, I don't think. I just really hit the timing right on selling that Queens one because yeah, if we look at Queens, I know I keep going on and on and on. I'm sorry. Oh, that should give us Queens Boulevard. There you go. The floor's at 88, and the floor was like at 180 right after the release. So if you want to sell properties and flip them quick after release, in the last 4 releases, it seems like if you're doing the stress test, you want to sell your stress test properties as quick as possible, like immediately. Once the release is done, kind of the same thing. You want to flip your properties, get them for sale as quickly as you can because the floors just tend to drop slowly after that kind of fear of missing out wears off. But then, like before the collections are announced, sometimes they keep going up a little bit right before that. So the timing is tricky, and then the floor itself tends to start pretty low for cheap properties and then start creeping up over time. And you can see the floor's at 5,300. It was a little lower than that yesterday, but that is creeping up here too. All right. That's all I've got for today. Again, thanks for all your support for everybody on the lazy nodes. Those are doing fantastic. I'm excited about those. Let me know what you think on the Queens lazy node if we do one there. If you want to buy any of my Century City properties, have at it. I think it's a good opportunity. Don't usually sell stuff on here, but that's my low-key marketing attempt. And then, yeah, I'll be looking for some good deals in here too, and maybe to try and sell some of my Rockaway properties. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Love your support. Love seeing the comments and likes. We'll be back soon.